Come and dream with me.
Hello, welcome to What Do You Want to Watch, the Explosion Network's premier media podcast. Every week we get together to talk about movies, TV, and online content. Help you answer the question, why would you try and do a Bluey event in the same year that they did that shitty Wonka event?
Was that this year? Wasn't it last year?
I feel like it was maybe end of last year.
Yeah.
In the last 12 months. I'm your host, Ash Shelby. Join me today, Dylan Blight.
Hello, shut the fuck up, dog.
Yeah. He was upset about Bluey as well. Did you see the story in Las Vegas?
I did see the story, yes.
Yeah. Someone claimed that Bluey is going to be there at a live meet and greet. It was just some random dude with like a Bluey costume. And all these children are crying. All these parents are angry.
I don't know what they expected.
No, what? You think,
What?
all these, how you think you're going to fool all these kids and thinking that's Bluey? Idiots.
That was the part of the story that confused me. And I saw people, I felt like I really missed something because I saw people replying being like, how dare they? How do they get away with something like this in the year 2024? I'm like, I don't understand. What did you expect? I'm so confused.
Although, admittedly, the most surprising thing, like 3,000 people showed up to it when they were only expecting like 50, 60 people. So
Bluey's huge.
Bluey is huge. That's the pulling power of Bluey. It's too powerful for just mere humans.
We got that thing happening in Brisbane this year.
Yeah, there's the experience.
Yeah, the Blue Experience.
Okay. So that's our latest Bluey update. On today's episode, we're talking about what's in our watch history, going over some film news, giving us some thumbs to trailers, giving you this week's top 3. Kicking things off, Dylan, you did a Mad Max rewatch in the lead up to Furiosa coming out this week.
I did.
Definitely not because we plan to do content based around that.
It's fine because I can do my own content and I don't need you.
Yeah, so I want you to rank the movies.
No, I want to do it as an article.
Okay.
And I've been working on my list today and I'm undecided.
You're undecided, okay.
So don't force me, man.
Well, maybe we could talk it out and it'll help.
Maybe. I think the list would be all right. I think that it should be pretty obvious which two I'm trying to work out. But I think it would be so number 4, Mad Max 3, Beyond Thunderdome. It's only shit one of the movies. Tina Turner's in it. It's very weird. Following the events of Mad Max 2, this one opens. Max now is not really having a car. He's got like a cart pulled by camels. He got stolen. There's so many weird oddities about this film, Ash. You don't even know. So then his cart gets stolen by a dude in a gyro plane, which is played by the same actor who was the pilot of a gyro plane in Mad Max 2, but it's a different character, even though it's played by the exact same actor doing the exact same thing and also has a kid, but it's a completely different character. Doesn't make any sense, but here we are. And then he goes off and he goes to some place called Bartertown. Angry Anderson's there. You may know from the hit TV series Fat Pizza. I don't know. And then I was trying to think of a reference. That's all I got. And then basically he has this whole like Thunderdome bit where he fights a dude. Except for the movie's like PG, so it's very tame. I mean, it's kind of cool. They're like springboarding across this circle, and then like it has created a colloquial term of like if you say to someone you're gonna take someone to the Thunderdome, they know what that means. You're gonna go fight them in a dome, basically. That's only and then we got the song California Love from this movie not from this movie, but like Tupac and Dre and everyone decided that they would dress up in stuff inspired by this film for whatever reason. Anyway, all this stuff happens, and then that's like the first half an hour, and then the rest of the movie is Dances with Wolves or some shit because he like gets saved by a bunch of kids and teams up with like 10 kids for some reason. It's a very odd movie. Anyway, it's terrible. I went into it open-minded. Like, instead of going, I think this movie's shit, I know it'll be shit. I went in going, maybe it's not. Maybe. I haven't watched it since I was like 15. Maybe it'll be good. And it wasn't. Anyway, moving on. So that'll be number 4. Then we got number 3 would be Mad Max 1. And every other movie in this list is good. It's just the order, how it falls. There's only one below the line, and that was 3. Mad Max 1, classic, Ozploitation film. You know, it was made for cheap as fuck. They filmed on roads they didn't have permits for. George Miller crashed through his own cars. You know, lots of wild, wacky Ozploitation era filming tactics and stuff. It's just, you know, it's this. Here's the thing, because you've only watched Fury Road, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you don't have the thing. The funniest thing about this franchise is it does start like when society's still a thing, kind of. It's like we're starting to go to shit in Mad Max 1. It's like but we're not fully into the, you know, the end of the world sort of stuff yet. So at this stage, Max is a cop of the very little that remain. And basically there's like a group of like, it's just like a bikie gang going around causing trouble. And then this is basically what causes him to become Mad Max, is because, again, I'm spoiling all these films, so it doesn't matter. Towards the end of this one, the bikie gang kills his mother and child, and there's a shot in this film that haunted me. I remember I watched this for the first time. I was probably like 12, and it there was a shot in it, and again, I think it's rated R, so it probably shouldn't have been, but it haunted me, not because it was gory or anything, but just the visual idea of it. Because you see the motorbike gang heading towards his wife and kid, and she's like carrying their child, and they're running down the highway, and it cuts to a shot where the dude like just revs the bike, so like speeds up right before he hits her, and then it cuts to a camera angle, and you see like the child's shoe like just roll down the road, like no body or anything, but for something about it just haunted me when I was a kid for whatever reason. Anyway, classic movie. It's really good. It ends with Max killing them all, and then, you know, he's like, I'm Mad Max now. Insert a sequel. I don't know. Then we cut ahead to Mad Max 2, Road Warrior. This is where I'm thinking this is number 2, and then Fury Road number 1 is where I'm at, I think. But Road Warrior and Fury Road, very different movies, but both very much like fantastic movies. Road Warrior is like sort of quintessential, sort of the start to the apocalypse era. And a lot of movies take stuff off from this and whatever else, but the story of this one's, it's pretty straightforward, but just does a lot of cool things. This is actually now, you know, end of the days, everyone's like fighting for gasoline or petrol or whatever. But Max like comes across a group who's like defending their little barricade area, and they've got like a whatever you call it, where you get like oil out of the ground or whatever. And then there's a bad guy or a bad group of like probably 100 people. Anyway, so he like sort of teams up with these people to try and help save him because he wants to get some gas himself, and you know, lots of wacky shit happens along the way, and lots of cool car crashes and car chases and whatever else. And then of course Fury Road, talked about it a million times. It's one of the greatest movies of all time, one of the greatest action movies of all time. I just rewatched it again. It's still good. I watch that movie every time I watch it. It never gets boring. It's fucking so good. 10 out of 10.
Awesome. So look forward to the article sometime.
I think I will, yeah. Where will Furiosa fall?
Where will Furiosa fall? Find out.
On the list.
All right. Dylan, you started watching the Jinx Part 2.
Yeah, I've caught
started
up,
releasing.
I think.
There's 6 episodes a season. You've watched 5, with the last one coming out next week, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, it's good. So obviously the Jinx came out in 2015, something like that. And at the time it was just crazy. Well, do you know what it is, don't you? Or
sort of. I started watching the first episode and I just lost it.
So it's like
quick.
That's crazy. You're insane. It took the world by storm. And if you weren't watching it week by week, you certainly then heard about it after the last episode, because what happened is you have all these episodes. They're like, did this dude do it? Did he not do it? Did he murder him? He's an old dude. He's like he does nothing in his life, right? Basically just sort of floats through life doing fuck all, and his like family actually do stuff. They're like in real estate and lawyers and whatever else. Anyway, he's like the shitty child of the family who just fucking clings on and gets money. And he's been accused of and acquitted over the years of murdering different people for different reasons. He somehow keeps getting away with it. There's proof that he did it, but not enough that anyone's ever been able to pin it on him. This dude, Andrew something or other, I can't remember his last name. He made a movie in like 2010. It stars Ryan Gosling and Michelle Monaghan, I think was it, or someone else. I can't remember. Anyway, that movie is like sort of based on Robert Durst, but being played by Ryan Gosling, but he's changed the characters' names to something else. And it's like based on the rumors that he actually did it and like the rumors of how and stuff and whatever else. So he makes that, and for some reason, Robert Durst is like, man, that's a dude made a movie about how he thinks I killed someone. I'm going to do an interview of that guy as someone who's never talked to press in my entire life. I'm going to let the dude who thinks I've done it. So anyway, that's how they end up making the Jinx. And then in the last episode of that, there's like footage where he goes into a bathroom with a mic on, doesn't realize it, and he says, I killed them all. And anyway, the internet blew up. It was crazy. This is years later because the trial only happened. Now, here's what I know going into this. A, he got found guilty. I know that. B, he died shortly after being found guilty a couple months later in prison. But even having known all that and the facts, and this is like nearly 10 years after the first series came out, so obviously there's a lot of years of to have taken place here. This still 5 episodes in is very, very interesting to me, just because it's like, even though I know what's happened, it's A, being able to see the trial case, being able to see interviews with the police and everything, and actually find out that no, it's not like the FBI and the police had it like sprung on them at the last second as the episode dropped, but like apparently they were told in the lead up to the series releasing what was going to be shown in that last episode, and they got shown stuff. So then they reopened their case, and they were like sort of racing to get enough evidence, because they cover all this in the first episode. They feared, as the episodes released one by one, and Robert Durst never got shown them early, that as it got closer and closer to that last episode, and at least by the last episode, they feared he would run, obviously, by the time it got to the last episode. And it gets to like episode 5, and he does. Like there's a scene in episode 5 where they like start like piecing together some evidence, and it freaks him out. So he runs at this stage, and then the cops are trying to track him down, and yeah, and then we get into like the trial and everything like that. So I believe we're at is next episode, because he just in episode 5 he's found guilty, and then what I believe the last episode should cover will be A, hey, he's dead, because he's not dead by the end of the 5th episode, but he's been found guilty. Episode 6 should be he's dead, but he's only been found guilty of 1 murder so far, and there's the other murder he did prior to that. They'll still probably go over the court case, which will be like him versus who owns his estate, which will be his wife, who is definitely shady as well. So I'm intrigued to see how it all plays out. But I think it's like really, really good doco series. I really enjoyed watching the first series when it aired, and I've been meaning to catch up to this sooner, but hadn't got to it. So happy to have had the chance to binge watch and catch up for the finale.
All right. So that's the Jinx on binge.
Yep.
So I've watched the season 3 of The Test, which is set to release this Friday, the 24th. I think all at once. I'm not 100% sure. Probably. There's only the 3 episodes. Much like the previous The Test series that follows the Australian cricket team. Generally, when they're playing the Ashes against England. So obviously, last year, the Ashes were held in England, so it follows the squad. First as they play the Test Cricket Championship final against India, and then on to the Ashes, which was a pretty contentious series. I'm sure even you, Dylan, you would have heard or at least seen some stuff about the Ashes last year, about the contentious run-out / thumping. Spirit of cricket mentioned at all?
I reckon. So some sports I don't zone out. Cricket is definitely one that I completely zone out and go, no, that's boring.
Okay,
sorry.
Well, during the second test, there was a very contentious stumping where Johnny Bairstow, after playing his shot, just started walking down the crease, believing that the the ball was down, the over was finished, but instead the wicketkeeper threw it straight at the stumps after catching it and ran him out.
Why did it? No, I did see that clip actually. Now that you're saying
Yes.
it, yes, I do recall
Yes.
seeing that clip. Okay, so you had to explain it to me, not just tell
yeah.
me. You know, like I had to
No.
visualize it.
I had to jog your memory.
Yes.
So yeah, that caused a massive uproar and kind of was a turning point for the series. So you get some behind the scenes footage from like the Australian dressing room of like the reserve players and the coaches and that kind of stuff reacting to that, and like the players coming into lunch because they're playing at Lords, which is like a very famous old cricket ground. And one of the things is that the players' dressing rooms go through like the members' room, so you have to walk past the public to go through the dressing room. So after that, in that session, the Australian cricket team had to walk through the members.
Awkward.
Yes. So generally, and like before the match, they're like, we love playing at Lords. They were all really respectful because they're all like the custodians of the game and that kind of stuff. Really old people. But they all turned very feral after this and like verbally abusing the players and like kicking them and that kind of stuff. So yeah, you get some of the reaction after that. So yeah, it's a good watch if you're. I don't think it's like any groundbreaking information here, because you know a lot of stuff came out, you know, as the events were happening. But it's fun to see, you know, the actual footage of them like calling out England out on their shit. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. 3 hours, easy binge. So check out the test on Prime Video this coming Friday. Dylan, you've watched the Synanon fix. Did the Cure become a cult?
Yeah, so this is sort of one of your. I mean, this is sort of generalized, straightforward, culty sort of documentary, but it's still weird and intriguing. Never heard about the people or anything in it. It's on Binge. Follows a dude who. I mean, look, it's basically a dude who's like, I want to help people who have alcohol problems. And in the first episode, you're like, man, I don't know how this could go so bad, but it does somehow. It goes from I want to help people who have alcohol problems, and I'm going to get them together and like sort of, you know, help people rehabilitate, which you're like, cool, that all sounds great. And somehow it gets from there to living on a farm, full cult, playing a game, what they call the Synanon game, where they stand in a circle and like yell at each other, and then like saying it's about like getting their feelings out. And then there's like they're all shaving their heads. Older men had to get vasectomies. I don't, you know, as episodes went on, I got more and more confused about, and I guess this is the downside of the documentary. I don't know if they don't really do a good job of delving into and explaining, because I still don't fucking understand the psychology of how, like, other than in the fourth episode where they're like, my dude's got bipolar, and I'm like, that doesn't explain everything for me. Like, that's, you know, that doesn't help. Like, I mean, that does seem like it adds up, but also it still doesn't explain everything to me. Yeah, just very weird. But yeah, it sort of runs through the generalized culty sort of things that you often see when these things happen, which is, you know, it's all about one dude having control in ways he can. They even do the general thing that I swear every cult does, which is at some point he goes, you know what? Everyone has to remarry different partners for some reason. Like, I swear that always happens in a cult. It's very, like, I swear every cult doco I watch, at some stage, someone, the leader goes, fuck different people.
I don't know.
Just saying, it seems like a common thing, at least in recent docos I've watched.
I don't know. You get bored, I guess. Yeah. So that one's playing on Binge as well?
Yeah, Binge.
All right. So I've been following along with the latest season of Welcome to Wrexham. For anybody who's living under a rock, a few years ago, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney decided to buy a Tier 5 football team in Wales with the goal to get them one day to the Premier League. With this documentary series kind of following their ambitions of, and like following the town and the club and all that kind of stuff. I guess light spoilers for last season, they got promoted, so now they're in the the second tier 2, I think is what is the correct term?
Tier 4.
No.
Oh.
They're in the National League. No, EFL League 2. So last year in the National League. So EFL 2 is the 4th tier, or 3 tiers under the Premier League. Yeah, I mean, it's more of the same. I think they've slightly altered the structure of it this season. I don't know whether it was the request from FX or whatever, but they're like all pretty straight hour-long episodes. Where in previous seasons they would like, I assume they had like an 1 hour block on FX. They would split episodes into like 2 half-hour ones and release them that way. And like one episode would be like focused on a very small element, like hyper-focused, and the other one would be like continuing the story of the season. Whereas this one, every episode's like an hour long, and those hyper-focused elements are kind of weaved in with the continuing story of the football team over the season. Which is fine. I mean, probably maybe forces people to take in those moments more, or I guess it's just like a cost-cutting kind of thing, because there's only 8 episodes this season, which is down from the previous seasons. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to, again, continues to be an interesting watch. Obviously, with the bigger league they're competing in this year. I think an interesting thing there to talk about is like not wanting to, because the popularity of Wrexham has grown exponentially, of like from people watching the documentary and people being fans of Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, like they're worried about the price of tickets like getting gouged out, and like it not being affordable for fans to go every single week because like foreigners want to come in and get all the tickets and that kind of stuff. And yeah, all those little things that kind of go into the making a football team. So yeah, even though I know kind of where the season's going to end, it's fun to watch along and like follow along the Wrexham football team, So yeah, welcome to Wrexham. That's on Disney Plus. Let's move into the mandatory Netflix segment of the show. And I finally got around to watching the first 2 episodes of Dead Boy Detectives. So this is a TV series based on characters who were introduced in Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. So the series about
not the TV series, right? They weren't in the show, were they?
No, they weren't in the show. They could be in the show.
They could be in the show, but like everyone keeps saying this, and I'm like, the comic, right? Like they weren't in the show, yes. And I missed it. Okay, good.
They weren't in the show yet, okay. But who was it? Kirby Baptiste,
Death or whatever
shows up at the first episode for a small cameo.
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah, so it follows 2 ghosts, Charles and Edwin, who have one who has escaped hell, one who's on the run from death, who are running a ghost detective agency, helping ghosts with their problems, who on one of the cases gets introduced to a psychic called Crystal, who's a medium, can see them and communicate with them, and they kind of team up on a case so they're based in the UK, but she comes across like this flyer or letter from somebody, is able to tell that this girl is still alive somewhere in the US. So they go there and go to investigate, but then they end up getting trapped in the town for a period of time due to cat shenanigans. Yeah, it's a fun time. I mean, it's got those fun supernatural elements. It's very YA, I guess, is probably the correct age demographic they're kind of going for. They're all quite young characters and that kind of thing. It's pretty fast paced would be my main takeaway. It's like, especially the pilot episode is like very fast paced and hitting you with a lot of information and that kind of stuff, and like lots of graphic cards and jumping around a lot and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's interesting characters, interesting kind of worlds. It's got similar kind of look to Sandman, I guess. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I believe it's only 8 episodes, so I'll probably check out the rest of the season. But yeah, Dead Boy Detectives is interesting because originally it was meant to be a Max series, and then they decided to drop it for whatever reason, and it's on Netflix with Sandman. So it's easier to tie in, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, that's everything in our watch history. Let's move into a little bit of film news. I mean, the big news is, it's pretty quiet this week because Cannes is going on at the moment. There's lots of standing ovations, followed by
5
lots
minutes,
of negative
6
reviews.
minutes, 4 minutes.
And then everybody turns out like they hated the movie.
The movie was shit. The movie was good. No, apparently all the movies are good. I know what I saw someone tweet today that Cannes has been disappointing, but all I keep seeing, at least on my Twitter timeline, is everyone saying that talking about certain movies being really good. So I'm just very confused.
I know. Yeah. I think it's been a very divisive Cannes.
From what though? Like, what movie? I want to know what movie.
Megalopolis.
Huh? Megalopolis. What, that one movie ruined the whole fucking thing, did
Horizon.
it? Don't people like that though?
No, I think I saw it's got like a 40 or something on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see.
But then people are hold the fuck on, because I'm confused. Like, what? So hold on. Digest for a second. A successful Cannes has to have how many really good movies? Because all I've seen today is everyone say that My Boy Sean Baker's latest is a cinematic.
Yeah, I mean that's
so. Like, what the fuck are we on about?
I don't know. I think people have super high expectations. Let's see. So we got 35 movies apparently. Yeah, Horizon's sitting at a 29% Rotten Tomatoes. Megalopolis is 52%. Oh Canada 61%. That's not bad. That's the third lowest. So I think it's been pretty good.
Well, I don't even understand. Like, so like, for example,
from an outsider,
Yeah, that's what I'm just very confused about. What? So like, even like the Shrouds, right? So the Shrouds, Cronenberg's latest, right? Not something you're ever watch, but just for instance,
no.
Cronenberg's latest film shows there. Keen, excited, get shit reviews. I go keen, excited. I don't care, right? Because it's Cronenberg.
Yeah, so
how
going to be divisive.
So yeah, so I don't understand. Like, does that affect? Is this part of the scale of what makes, He's on stage telling critics to learn how to watch his movies properly the other day. I saw that. It was quite good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the critics who go to Cannes are like the biggest critics, to be fair. Like, or the most powerful, I guess. Yeah. Most well regarded.
Are they, though?
The harshest.
Are they, though? Because I've seen a lot of influencer types tweeting and letterbox reviewing. Because that's what counts these days, Ash. One paragraph on letterbox. Fucking don't let me get names.
So yeah, that's happening. But the other big story is the box office is not doing too good into 2024.
Is that news? Is that a new thing?
No, well, it's leading up to a point, from this article I'm reading. Okay. So reading from /Film. It's not that theaters are in danger of going away, but the movie business is in a bit of a crisis. Thanks to the pandemic, the box office struggled to get back to the level ticket sales the industry has become accustomed to. The SAG and WGA strikes last year have put us in a situation where the 2024 box office is in rough shape thus far, and with the summer now burdened by unreasonable expectations. So what can be done? One Hollywood executive believes he has the answer. Make the experience of going to the movies cheaper. Sony Motion Pictures chairman Tom Rothman recently sat down with Deadline as the head of one of Hollywood's biggest studios, and one that doesn't have a streaming service is very reliant on box office. He has a good vantage point to comment on these matters. We need for ticket prices to come down, Rothman said it plainly in discussing the challenges the industry is facing, in explaining why the executive had some pretty solid reasoning. I think it's not healthy. I understand why it happened, and the exhibition went through a terrible near-death experience with COVID. I get the instinct to raise prices, but I think overall, if you look at it at for example, at how every Tuesday in America, every single Tuesday is the biggest day of the week. Why? Because of the half price tickets. It's fundamental consumer economics. Just lower the prices and you'll sell more. You'll make it up in volume and concessions. Dylan, ticket price is too high, and is that the problem with why people aren't going to cinemas?
I would say it could be a problem in some areas for some people. I don't think that's the major problem, though. If anything, I feel like if I was to pick a one sentence answer to cinema movie world problem, it would be to make less big blockbuster movies. Make movies for less money. Because I feel like the problem is this, right? You boil it down. After this has been a problem for what, like probably a couple of years now, ever since COVID kicked in, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a continuing trend problem. The problem is this, at least in my eyes, people don't want to go to cinemas. Not because of the price. People just don't want to go to the cinema. Like, the idea of going to the cinema, like how many people do you know? Like, I know a lot of people that are like, the idea of going to cinema, that's just not something that they would ever, they're like, I don't think about that. I don't want to do that. You have to sit there with other people. Oh my God, I have to get some people to go with. I can't be bothered. You know, like there's just a million.
I mean, I know a lot of people because I see a lot of people at the screen.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I know a lot of normies. Okay,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. A lot of normies, and no one wants to go to cinemas. And I feel like this is a big thing of it. No one wants to go to cinemas because they got used to watching the movies at home over COVID during no time. They got used to going to. They'll wait. You know, I'll just wait. It'll be on Netflix soon. And the thing is, it's like playing Game of Chicken, and the consumers are winning, right? Because what happened this week? It's not here in Australia yet, but I assume it'll follow in the coming weeks. But Fall Guy got added to digital. Annabelle got added
2 days.
to 2 days. There you go. Thank you. So Annabelle, I checked just before I recorded. Annabelle's now up there as a $30 rental or whatever. They keep doing this, and so I don't feel like the problem is that, and this is what they have to boil the problem down to. I don't think it's really a monetary issue. It's that society as a whole does not, the majority of people do not appreciate going to the movies anymore. Going to the cinema is not something that a lot of people have on their mind. So they're trying to win back audience goers by a price thing, and I don't think that's the way it's going to go. You have to win back the audience by getting them to care about movies again and caring about seeing stuff other than Marvel movies on the big screen and Avatar and Star Wars and what have you on the big screen. You have to make people care about going to the movies. How you do that, I don't know, to be completely honest. But until you fix that problem, I feel like the only way to keep the industry going is you slow the fuck down. You experiment more with and spend less. Like split the budget, you know, take 160, split it in two, make 2 movies instead of 1. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's a societal problem. I don't think it's a monetary problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a mitigating factor. I'm sure. Like I've seen like people saying, like especially in the US, like showing that tickets are like $30 or something like that just for one ticket, which seems, high when we're paying most here like 20 something.
But then
for most sessions
I saw this too, and I went, hold on. Major city, I guarantee this is not the only cinema. Are you just picking the fancier place?
I don't know.
The only thing I don't know either. However, you know what I mean. Like if I was to, how many cinemas do you have around you, right? How many options would you have in a day trip?
A lot.
And the prices vary, right?
Yeah,
exactly. So how do I take someone sharing a $30 ticket price and they live in fucking New York City or some shit? I'm gonna go. Well, hold on. Are you just picking the fancy, comfier seats? And you're
going gold class. It's like...
You're going gold class. So don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't think you can just narrow it down to that one element. I think marketing is so difficult now. Like,
Well, people consistently
yeah.
view movies as a waste of money too. You know.
Yeah, I guess. Well, because then streaming services have
Yeah.
destroyed the value of movies. I guess.
Yeah.
Like
The value of it, the idea of it actually being an industry that needs any sort of support, because they just view the multi-million-dollar celebrities at the front and not the rest of the pillars
below
holding
the
the
cards,
industry up.
yeah. It's just content for them to consume to fill their days.
Yeah.
But I feel like how are you supposed to market to people now
I don't
in
know.
2024?
I do not
Do you
know.
know the number of people I'm like, I saw somebody. We need HBO to make another miniseries. Need another Mayor of Easttown. Someone pointed out that Kate Winslet was literally in a miniseries called The Regime, like a month ago.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't. How did they miss me with this? How are you supposed to market to people in 2024 when everybody's got an ad blocker? And, the only way to reach people is like if you have some sort of scandal or like viral hit or, or you're part of a massive IP. You're able to go take monkeys out in the middle of the city and.
I mean, it is interesting amount of things that like you say like ad blocker and stuff, and the amount of people who that's just like the amount of times I hear, and again, normies, right, will talk about, oh man, why don't you just use ad blocker? Like if I'm like, well, no, because like I understand that like someone putting ads as someone who runs a fucking website, right? I understand that ads are there to support. People don't think, right? They just go similar to, well, I will block the ads on the website that I want to read because I should just be able to ingest this thing for free, without any sort of like, without them earning a single cent, similar to how I should just be able to so how the fuck do you like people block ads?
Nobody's watching free to air TV anymore.
No one watches free to air TV.
So then how do you nobody goes outside anymore, so how do you supposed to no billboards?
That's what I mean. Like I feel like it's just like it's TikTok and Instagram Shorts. Like you just have to like I don't think you can buy and block ads on there, at least as far as I'm aware.
But then even then, that's only a certain
people just
type of audience
anyway. So
it's a certain type of audience as well. So
yeah,
I mean it's tricky.
Flyers in the mailbox.
I also just think maybe there just hasn't been the volume of great stuff, so people don't feel like haven't got back into the routine of going to the cinema constantly.
I think there's been enough. I think if I saw someone tweet something the other day that was like, that said Fall Guy doing so disappointing is like a testament of how bad the industry at the moment, which I think is pretty true. Like from one of the directors of, like all these hit
John Wick,
with
Bullet Train was pretty
dope,
success.
With one of the biggest current Hollywood stars in Ryan Gosling, just all over the place. Internet darling was just everywhere in the world because of Barbie, obviously, and Ken. I know like Emily Blunt, I don't think's anywhere near as big as a star as he is. However, she's a known property.
She's very likable.
Very likable. Like if that can't get you to go check out a new, and we say new even though we know it's based on TV series, but if that can't get you to go check out a new movie, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I definitely fall on the side of, not that I think the movie industry, because I feel similar to the movie industry and the video game industry, which is that they're both like have a lot of problems at the moment for different reasons, but both aren't being helped by
the companies
and a lack of understanding, I guess, from the people that claim to like those industries, I guess, with the way to put it. Like people will be like, man, I love movies but fail to support any, or I love video games, I fucking like I love watching movies, I just pirate them all, like that sort of mentality, and like a lack of understanding about how you may be one small drop in a pond, but like yous all do it and then look where we are, sort of thing. I'm not like, I don't feel like both industries are going to blow up and die, but I definitely feel like a bubble's going to burst with both in some fashion, and something has to be built back up to regain like a golden age stature.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait to see how Furiosa goes this week. And
I'll be shocked if that doesn't do as well as considering how well the first one did.
Hmm.
And some of that was word of mouth as it picked up. I remember. I will be shocked.
I don't know. Yeah,
Everyone loves Princess Peach
everybody does love Princess Peach, but
and Chris
do they
Hemsworth.
love? They do, but do they love that nose? I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, quiet week, but it's been a lot of acquisition news this week. There's a lot of stuff going on at Cannes.
Well,
That's
this
big
is the video
elements.
game industry.
A lot of casting stuff. So we like to cover those kind of stories in the segment we like to call Would You Want to Invest? In the segment, I tell Dylan about a movie or TV show, who's involved, maybe there's a premise. He tells me if he would fully invest, partially invest, or not invest in this project, and then history will be the judge if he is right or wrong. Just kick it off. In a competitive situation in the Cannes market, A24 is lending an 8-figure deal to acquire US rights to one of the biggest art house crossover projects in town. In The Entertainment System is Down, the next movie from two-time Palme d'Or winning Ruben Östlund. The pick recently added Nicholas Braun and Samantha Morton to a starry cast that already includes Keanu Reeves, Kirsten Dunst, and Daniel Bruhl. Entertainment System is Östlund's follow-up to Triangle of Sadness, which won the Palme d'Or in 2022. Like its predecessor, it's a social satire. The new pick is set on a long-haul flight where the entertainment systems fail, and an eclectic group of international passengers are forced to face the horror of being bored.
Full invest. That's great.
That does sound like a horror movie.
That does sound like a horror movie. It's very true.
Vertical has snapped up US rights to Elevation, a new sci-fi thriller starring Anthony Mackie and Marina Baccarin, directed by George Nolfi, who did The Adjustment Bureau, and produced by Brad Fuller. The film will be released in theaters later this year. Elevation is set in a post-apocalyptic Rocky Mountains, where a single father and two women venture from the safety of their homes to face monstrous creatures to save the life of a young boy.
I'll tell you what, 75% of that, it sounded like you were just pitching like a pretty normal plane movie. And then all of a sudden you're like, monsters. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Who else was in it? Anthony Mackie and who?
Marina Baccarin.
I'm going to go partial invest.
All right. IFC Films has acquired North American rights to Memoir of a Snail, a stop-motion drama from Adam Elliott, the writer-director behind the Academy Award-winning 2004 short Harvey Crumbit, marking the first lead voice role for star Sarah Snook and Elliott's second stop-motion feature on the heels of 2009's Mary Max. The film centers on the life of Grace Perdue, a lonely misfit with an affinity for collecting ornamental snails and an intense love of romance novels. At a young age, when she's separated from her twin brother, she falls into a spiral of anxiety and angst. Despite a continued series of hardships, inspiration and hope emerge when she strikes up an enduring friendship with an elderly, eccentric woman named Pinky. As she slowly learns to let go of her clutter in her home and her mind, Grace starts to find confidence and courage to love again. Also starring Eric Bana, Cody Smith-McPhee, and Jackie Weaver.
This looks great. I just saw there's a concept art, like poster thing.
Mm.
Apparently the snail lives in Canberra.
Of course.
Yeah, sure.
Where else do snails live?
Fucking rains there enough. So. Full invest. Yeah, sure. That sounds great. Has he made a movie since? Hold on.
No, clearly not.
Sorry, I zoned out for a second there.
Mm.
I was trying to find my own proof in the pudding. Now, what the fuck is this? 2015. So yeah, so that Ernie the Biscuit. Oh, that's a short, right? Yeah. So literally nothing since Mary Max. That's crazy.
Well, not nothing, but not
a feature since that's well, okay. Yeah.
Well, they take a long time to make.
Yeah, it's fair. That claymation, you know.
Yeah,
it's hard shit.
Focus Features has acquired US rights in select international territories on the upcoming thriller Last Breath, starring Woody Harrelson, Finn Cole, and Simu Liu. Focus will distribute the Alex Parkinson-directed title in the US with Universal Pictures, handling select territories including France, Scandinavia, Australia, New Zealand, China, Indonesia, Malaysia, South Korea, and Vietnam. The project is an exhilarating true story based on the 2019 documentary of the same name, which Parkinson co-directed with Richard DaCosta. It follows a seasoned deep-sea diver as he battles against the raging elements to execute his final rescue mission. It's described as a heart-pounding and gripping tale of teamwork that takes audiences on a race against time.
So Jason Statham does at the start of the Meg, and then someone dies, and he actually goes into hiding because he's like so scared about doing missions again, and he turns into alcoholic. And then they actually go to get him when the Megalodon comes out, and he's like, "No, I can't do that because last time someone died." I'm gonna go partial invest on that one.
Okay. In a competitive situation, Netflix has landed for development Forever Interrupted, a limited series based on the 2013 best-selling novel by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Sources tell Deadline. Laura Dern and Margaret Qualley are set to star in and executive produce the project from A24 and company-based producer Jessica Rhodes. In a Forever Interrupted, Elsie and Ben's worldwide romance is electric. Within months, they're married and living happily ever after. When Ben's unexpected death forces Elsie to come face-to-face with Susan, the mother-in-law who doesn't know that she exists. Told through a dual timeline, the series recounts Elsie and Ben's once-in-a-lifetime love, intercut with Elsie and Susan's unexpected journey as their at first turbulent connection ultimately brings both women cathartic new beginnings.
I don't know what the fuck you just said, but full invest.
Okay. What part did you not get?
Just there's a lot of descriptors, not a lot of like their relationship, cathartic release, something.
It's about dealing with death.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know, maybe
Segue.
I'm overthinking it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Segue into the next one. Will Ferrell is making a rare foray into scripted TV in a big way. The former SNL star, whose acting credits have mainly focused on films, is co-creating the new Netflix comedy series Golf, alongside Rami Youssef and Josh Rabinowitz. Ferrell and Youssef are set to star. In his first leading role in a comedy series, Ferrell will star as a fictional golf legend. Details regarding Youssef's role are under wraps.
No.
That's it.
I got nothing for that. No.
All right.
History will be the judge. Oh no,
it will be. It's interesting that golf comedies are like in vogue at the moment.
Are they though?
Because we talked about there's the Owen Wilson series that they're making. That was a golf, and then they just greenlit Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, but greenlit doesn't mean it actually happens.
It's Adam Sandler. It'll happen.
True. He just does what he wants. Eh?
Cameras are rolling on Kangaroo, an Australian family comedy inspired by the true story of an Alice Springs animal sanctuary. Ryan Corr will star as ex-TV weather presenter Chris Masterman, who becomes stranded in an outback town after a car accident and forms an unlikely friendship with an 11-year-old Indigenous girl, Charlie, played by newcomer Lily Whitley. They work together to rescue and rehabilitate orphan Joeys in a remote but stunning outback community, an endeavor that proves to be life-changing for them both. The ensemble cast includes...
You're talking like it's a true story.
It's inspired by a true story.
Okay.
The ensemble cast comprises of Deborah Malman, Wayne Blair, Trisha Morton-Thomas, Rachel House, Brooke Satchwell, Ernie Dingo, Genevieve Lemon, Clarence Ryan, Rory Hicks, Roy Billing, Rick Donald, Emily Tarney, Bondi lifeguard Ryan Clark, and Australian TV presenter Grant Denyer.
Grant Denyer, I'm out.
It's based on the story of Chris Barnes, aka Brolga, who founded the Kangaroo Sanctuary in 2005 and as the subject of the 2013 BBC doc series Kangaroo Dundee.
Sure. I'll fully invest.
Good.
I support the Australian film industry.
Yeah. Andrew Garfield is in negotiations to star alongside Julia Roberts in Amazon MGM Studios' upcoming feature, After the Hunt, which will be released in theaters next year. Luca Guadagnino is directing the film from script penned by Nora Garrett. After the Hunt is an intense, dramatic thriller about a college professor who finds herself at a personal and professional crossroads when a star pupil levies an accusation against one of her colleagues and a dark secret from her own past threatens to come to life.
This is May, December 2.
Could be.
Full invest.
Tell you what, Guadagnino, pumping them out at the moment.
Fucking. Unlike some of these lazy people.
Yeah.
Quentin
Tarantino.
Tarantino.
Mark Ruffalo was in talks to star in Amazon MGM Studios adaptation of Don Winslow's novella Crime 101, who will co-star with Chris Hemsworth, who is also in talks to star and produce, alongside producing partner Ben Grayson. The film will be released in theaters next year. While plot details are being kept under wraps, the original short story by Winslow has shades of heat as it follows high-level jewel thefts that are taking place up and down the Pacific coasts, which police have linked to Colombian cartels. Detective Lou Lubesnik has other ideas, and he zeroes in on one perp, a thief looking for a final score.
Lubestick.
Lubesnik. I guess it could be a Lubensnik.
Fully invest.
It's probably Lubensnik.
No,
Lubesnik. I know.
don't even try and correct it. I mean,
After playing the Commander-in-Chief in the Has Fallen franchise, Aaron Eckhart is returning to the Oval Office for a new action feature.
Okay, no, let's keep. For a second, I was like, "That's Aaron Eckhart's like Hall of Fame." Okay, yeah, sure.
Eckhart will play the US president in Raider from Con Air and Expendables 2 director Simon West. The feature was written by J. Craig Stiles and is housed at Beholder Productions and Concourse Media. Raider tells the story of a president sworn in after a landslide victory who discovers that the White House has been controlled by an elite shadow organization for decades. Refusing to bow to their demands or comply with the head of Secret Service, the president works to unravel a series of cryptic messages left by his predecessors, hoping they are the key to freeing his family and the country from dark forces.
Freemasons, baby. Full invest.
All right.
Give me that fucking conspiracy shit.
Last one. A day after his latest film premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, Yorgos Lanthimos' new film has been announced. The director Wilhelm Begonia, starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, who lead his latest film, Kinds of Kindness. The script from Will Tracy follows two conspiracy-obsessed men who kidnap the high-powered CEO of a major company, convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying planet Earth.
This motherfucker bangs him out too, doesn't he? Like he's literally just he had a trailer out for his movie while at the Academy Awards, and now that one's just debuting at Cannes, let alone making its theatrical run, he's already on to the next one. Yeah. And this is the secret. You just find actors you like, I guess, and you never cast anyone ever again. You just
there's that
fucking roll.
You also, you get a team of script writers. You make sure you have a script to go as soon as your last film's done.
Fucking banging them out, and they're not even in. No three of these movies are the same. Obviously, fully invest.
All right. That's all the Would You Want to Invest projects. Let's talk about some that are maybe a little bit closer by giving some bums the trailers. You can find all the trailers we're about to talk about in the show notes below. Kicking things off with Am I Okay? Directed by Tig Notaro and Stephanie Allen. Starring Dakota Johnson, Sonoya Mizuno, Jermaine Fowler, Kirstie Clemens, Molly Gordon, June Diane Raphael, Tig Notaro, and Sean Hayes. Lucy, a 32-year-old woman living in Los Angeles, realizes that all her dates with men are unsuccessful because she is a lesbian. With the help of her lifelong best friend Jane, she attempts to navigate coming out and dating women in her 30s. Dylan, what do you think of the trailer for I'm Okay? Which apparently was from 2002. Finally getting a release.
What?
Yeah, it was at Sundance 2002.
No, that cannot be right. No. Dakota Johnson would be like fucking 2020. Like Kirsty
It had
Platt
its
Clemens.
world premiere at Sundance Film Festival on January 24th, 2002. No, 2022, sorry.
Oh,
I said the words with such confidence.
You
Fucking
kept saying
idiot.
it with such confidence. I'm like,
2022.
I'm literally just
This has
opened
been the
IMDb.
can
I was
for
literally looking
22
up
years.
Kirsty Clemens' profile to go, motherfucker, she was born in 1993. Like, what are you talking about? All right, 2022. That makes more sense. What are we doing again? Yeah, thumbs to us. Yeah, double thumbs up. Looks funny. Looks like feel good time. Great cast. Good vibes. I don't know. I guarantee this is you were straight away double thumbs in this shit.
Yeah, there's 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, crazy. It sat in the vault for fucking like 15 years, but
50, yeah, 22 years. But finally out now. Looks fun. Dakota Johnson looks really good in this. Yeah, I'm excited. I like a lot of the casts. Just it's a little bit awkward, but it's a fun kind of awkward. I do love they've got the bit where she says the title in the trailer.
yeah, I love that.
After a
Or
terrible
did they,
joke.
Did they make the name of the movie after that she filmed that bit?
Could be.
Who's to
I don't know.
say? Who's to say?
Who's to say? MIOK is releasing on Max in the US on the 6th of June. There is currently no confirmed Australian release date. So,
And that's not okay.
that is not okay. Next trailer is Never Let Go, directed by Alexandre Aja,
Sure.
starring Halle Berry. A family consisting of a mother and her twin sons has suffered from the torment of a malicious spirit for many years. However, when one of the boys starts to doubt the existence of the evil, the family's sacred bond is broken, leading to a dangerous fight for survival. Dylan, what do you think of the trailer for Never Let Go?
I think the twist is that she's actually evil.
She's the evil one?
She's like keeping them there. Yeah. Like,
I think it's a real thing.
you think it's a real thing? I feel like that's the main
Yeah.
point of the movie, right? That's going to be the whole movie is going to be, is it real or the kid's right and there's actually something? Nah, I'm
I get the feeling there's like a massive snake involved.
You reckon?
Yeah. Just from like some of the coloring of the text.
Yeah, could
Yeah.
be true. I'll go double thumbs up. Pretty cool trailer. I bet you the dog dies.
Rough.
Rough indeed.
Yeah, I'll give it 2 thumbs up. I think it was very effective.
You
Even
ain't
though
watching this.
I'm not going to watch this. I'll read the description because I want to find out what happens. But
You're such a little bitch. You just like read Wikipedia synopses for horror movies you find mildly intriguing that you can't be fucking
Yeah.
watching because you're too scared. And you go, let me just read the synopsis to find out what happened.
yeah. But some people are like that. They like to find out exactly what's
You!
going to happen before they go something.
No, that's fucked. Yeah, it's my brother.
That's why
Actually.
some people read the last page of a book.
I used to read the last sentence
Mm,
because you get last sentence told you fuck all.
yeah. But yeah, Halle Berry. Like, obviously, we've been watching the X-Men movies over on all new Marvel cast, but she is almost unrecognizable in this.
She can act sometimes, and then other times she cannot. So this looks like a she can moment.
Yeah. Well, she needs to carry this movie with these kids, so. Yeah, so Never Let Go is coming to Australian cinemas on the 26th of September. Next trailer is for My Penguin Friend, directed by David Sherman, starring Jean Reno and Adriana Barraza. A heartbroken fisherman finds a penguin drifting alone in the ocean, drenched in oil from a spill. He not only rescues the sea creature, but takes it under his wing, finding a sense of joy for the first time in years. Dylan, what do you think of the trailer for My Penguin Friend?
Double thumbs down. Terrible trailer. Don't really care if it's based on true story. Penguins are cute and all, but this looks shit.
Wow.
There's a moment where this penguin jumps It was the worst CGI. I fucking like jumps out of a car. I fucking hated it. You expect me to believe fucking Leon would care for a penguin? Get the fuck out of here. He's the killer. Casting directors off their face.
He's an old sad man, Dylan.
Yeah,
Natalie
someone
Portman's not taking his calls anymore.
Yeah,
You know, he's retired
yeah,
to somewhere in South America.
yeah. Good for him.
No, there's one up, one down at least. You know, it looks like fun family fare. You know, one of those classic animal stories. You know, you're all gonna get emotional. He's crying out in the darkness for Dim. Was it Dim Dim? Name of the penguin. I need to rescue him. He hasn't come back.
Gonna fucking eat.
He's not coming. He hasn't come
Something
back.
Care for.
The penguin was a little menace as well. You know, knocking over bicycles.
Yeah,
Love it. I mean, yeah, I thought it looked solid. and it's a penguin. My penguin friend is releasing in US cinemas on 16th of August. There is no Australian release date, so I guess you don't have to worry about it.
no one went and watched Penguin Bloom here, so they said, "Fuck your penguin movie."
Yeah.
That was actually
Next
about
trailer
a
is-
magpie, though. So
And you know, penguins are much more likable than penguins. But no, penguins are more likable than magpies, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Zach.
He's definitely listened to this podcast. I don't know why that's cracked me up so much.
Just imagine him listening. The one time.
You would only listen to this if we talked about
This
fucking.
thing is too fucking
If
long.
we talked about fucking
like-
Norwegian movies for an whole episode, you might miss this.
This trailer is for Long Legs, directed by Osgood
Triple
Perkins,
thumbs up.
starring Micah Monroe, Nicolas Cage, Alicia Witt, and Blair Underwood. FBI agent Lee Harker is assigned to an unsolved serial killer case that takes an unexpected turn, revealing evidence of the occult. Harker discovers a personal connection to the killer and must stop him before he strikes again. Where do you even get a third thumb from, Dylan?
Wouldn't you like to know? I got long thumbs for this Long Legs trailer. That's where I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay.
No, look, how do you not like? This is the best trailer of the year, I think, so far. I don't know. This and Mad Max, I think, are my two favorite trailers. If I was doing a list so far, it's a fucking
Wow.
banger. Sound design, this trailer goes off. Watch it with headphones. It's fucking intense. I love how they don't show Nicolas Cage. He's just like creepy voice the whole
Voice,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it just looks absolutely like an insane movie. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I'll give the trailer 2 thumbs up as well. You know, getting Alan Wake vibes. You know,
Mm.
probably because she's wearing an FBI jacket.
That's the like. I think
That's
Alan
it.
Wake invented that. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, the only movie with
Yeah.
an FBI jacket.
Yeah.
But it's also dark.
Yeah. That no one's ever shot a movie in the dark.
No one's
before.
done FBI
You're what?
jackets
You're what? You're
in
really
the dark.
You're picking up on things that I'm not. That's for sure. Tell me your secret to movie fucking theory, Ashley Holmley. Tell me your thesis.
If they got two things similar, they're alike.
Yeah, fucking. Yeah.
But you know, there's also all the creepy stuff in it as well, which is very Alan Wake as well. Yeah, you know, very effective. Like, I've got no idea what's really happening in this trailer, but it's all very intriguing and like dark and like very effective. Yeah, people are very optimistic on this one, so I'm hoping it pans out. This one is coming to cinemas on the 11th of July. Last trailer for this week, Wicked, directed by John M. Chu, starring Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Michelle Yeoh, Jeff Goldblum, Jonathan Bailey, Ethan Slater, Marissa Bodie, Bowen Yang, Bronwyn James, Kiela Settle, and Peter Dinklage. Misunderstood because of
No synopsis needed. Just insert that fucking TikTok here of that dude. That's the plot. She's the Wicked Witch of the East, bro.
Misunderstood because of her green skin, a young woman named Elphaba forges an unlikely but profound friendship with Glinda, a student with an unflinching desire for popularity. Following an encounter with Wizard of Oz, their relationship soon reaches a crossroad as their lives begin to take very different paths. Dylan, what do you think of the trailer for Wicked?
Why'd you say it that way?
Wicked. I want to say it with a Boston accent. Wicked.
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 I'm going one up, one down. I don't know what this is about. I watched the trailer. I still don't understand it. I don't like lore wise. It's very confusing. Is that Ariana Grande's real accent? I don't know. It probably is.
Who's?
Ariana Grande.
Oh,
yeah. Is that her real accent?
mm,
Or is she
I
putting
don't
something
know.
on? Because it sounds weird to me. And if that's how she really talks, then I get it. Pete Davidson. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. One up, one down. Looks pretty, I guess.
yeah, I'll give it one up, one down as well. Like, I'm somewhat familiar with, Wicked. It's obviously based on the musical, which is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz,
Yeah.
which follows, Glinda the Good Witch and, the Wicked Witch, the West, I'm pretty sure. She's from the West.
She's the Wicked Witch of the West, bro.
And their origin story, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like this trailer showed the entire movie. I can't imagine
Kinda did, yeah.
yeah. And it's also doing that, thing where it's trying to be a movie trailer but doesn't want you to realize it's a musical.
It does. Hey, yeah. There's no musical in the.
There's no clear song and dance. Like they
Mean Girls do.
They hint at some of the songs and that kind of stuff.
Mm.
And then this is the thing that really threw me. This is called Wicked, but it's part one.
What?
Yeah, they split it in two. There's two movies. This is Wicked, and then they call the next one Wicked Part 2.
You fucking for real? No wonder
Yes.
people aren't going to the cinemas.
Why isn't this called Wicked Part 1? I don't understand. We'll call the second one colon something. Well, that's because they didn't make them back to back, They shot it together.
Oh, holy shit, 2025.
The part 2 is releasing next year, yeah. So, I'm intrigued. I'm definitely going to go see it.
How do you say it? Elphaba?
Elphaba.
Elphaba. I like how the synopsis on IMDb for part 2 says follows Elphaba, the future Wicked Witch. Okay. What?
Yeah.
Way to spoil it.
So. What? I will say the green looks good. Like, I was concerned it wasn't going to look very good, but they pulled it off.
The green's the least.
The makeup or whatever CGI or whatever they're doing. All right. So Wicked is releasing in cinemas.
I'm just confused. Like, can you
28th of November?
Just clarify for me. Why do I care? Yeah. Why does anyone care about Elphaba? Like, if you know that they're the Wicked Witch, like, and you know that
it's a tragedy.
Is it? Is it how it's supposed to be viewed?
It's like Cruella, I guess.
Yeah, but they changed it by the end of Cruella. It's like,
well, yeah.
By the end of that movie, you're like, well, she's not actually bad yet. Like, you thought she would turn bad.
I don't know. I haven't seen the musical, so I can't say. But obviously, is it much loved? And there's many tragedies, of people going down a dark path, and that's how it ends up,
Sure.
Maybe there's a little bit of hope for good, everybody. So yes, releasing in cinemas 28th of November 2024. Part 2 coming around the same time the following year. Crazy, it's 2 movies.
That's wild.
All right, let's do this week's top 3.
Definitely in the top 3.
And in anticipation of a certain movie coming out this week's top 3 is top 3 movie prequels.
Oh! That's why you picked it. I thought you picked it because of the Wicked trailer. That makes more sense. All right, continue. I was like,
I mean, that could have tied in as well,
Yeah.
Dylan, what's your number 3?
Oh fuck, where's my list? Fuck, hold on. All right, number 3 on my list, I've gone with Rogue One, Star Wars story.
Okay.
Best Star Wars prequel.
Rogue One is my number 1.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it does the best job of doing what a prequel should be, filling in information from the original and like kind of enhancing it, you know, enhancing the source material. I think that's what Rogue One does, and is also a fantastic story with fantastic characters, cool action, interesting worlds, planets. And we get a cool Darth Vader thing.
Because it's like Rogue One's more of an act. Like if you view under those terms of what a prequel is, like filling in gaps and stuff, Rogue One's definitely more of a prequel than the prequel movies were. Because the prequel movies is sort of like they are the story of how he became Darth Vader,
it's the collectively. Yeah,
there's like a lot more going on rather than Rogue One's literally like, how did the plans? Yeah.
Okay. So I'll do my number 3 now, which is Bumblebee, a prequel movie in the Transformers franchise, and arguably the best of the Transformers movies.
I own it somewhere. I still haven't watched it.
Yeah. Follows Bumblebee, his like little yellow car, and he teams up with Haley Steinfeld, and they fight off. They have to deal with John Cena trying to capture him.
And it's not directed
good time.
by Michael Bay.
It's directed by Stephen K. Knight,
Moffat.
I think. So who did Cobra and the Twisters. So yeah, Bumblebee. It's pretty good. Dylan, what's the number 2?
Pearl.
I figured this would be on your list.
Obviously the prequel to X. We've got Maxine about to come out. Pearl tells the backstory to the Wicked Witch of the house. The Wicked Witch of the house from X. How did Pearl become Pearl? What led her to become that evil old lady? Find out in Pearl. It's just such a really good. I just love how different it is to X, and while also it's like as good as X for different reasons. Some people actually think it's better. I don't know. It's sort of hard to pick for me. I think they're both really good, but it's just so different. Like where X is like typical sort of grindhouse darker vibes and everything. Pearl's just this. I love how committed it is to filming it in like bright lights and like these very well lit scenes and everything, while still keeping up, I guess, like high levels of violence when kills happen and stuff. It's just very opposite to the first film, but it fills in all the gaps, like you said, would make a good prequel. And yeah, I mean, at least in the most recent years of prequels, stuff that comes to my mind. There's no way that Pearl wasn't coming straight to my mind. Come
on. So my number 2 and the last one on my list, Monsters University, the prequel to Monsters Inc. It's a lot of fun. The origin story of Mike and Sully's friendship, them coming together at Monsters University. It works as like filling in kind of backstory and like expanding the world of the monsters and kind of there's lots of fun to be had there. Solid on its own, but also effective as an further storytelling of that universe. So
Mike
Wazowski. Dylan, what's your number 1?
My number 1. Now I'm not sure if you allow it. So my number 1 will be if it's allowed for this list. And you always say there's no rules.
I'm very broad, and right after this, I'm going to question you on whether these following films are prequels or not. So go ahead.
The Godfather Part 2.
Now, I've seen it on all the lists, so
it is the quintessential prequel in my mind, as long as you allow the fact that it has parts that are not in the prequel.
Yeah, it's a pre-essential prequel in that half of the movie is prequel and half the movie is a sequel.
Correct. But the movie also goes for 4 hours. So if you take 2 hours...
I don't think it goes for 4 hours.
It does. It fucking does. I swear to... How long... Hold on. How long is Godfather Part 2? It fucking goes for close to 4 hours. 3 hours, 22 minutes. That's long enough. All right. So...
Sure, why not?
No,
like I said, it's like on a lot of lists.
Well, yeah. So let's say it's about what's that? That's still that's like if we that's about an hour 50, right?
Yeah. Well, it's 202 minutes, so now 40 each.
That's a movie.
Half.
That's a prequel movie within the movie. That's a full feature.
Okay, yeah.
There's my pitch for why this counts. Thank you.
Okay.
But I mean, outside of that, obviously, The Godfather Part 2 is one of the greatest movies of all time. So how could it not be one of the greatest, the greatest prequel of all time? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
So that was on the list of movies I wanted to ask if you think is a prequel.
Yes.
The other ones I got is Star Trek 2009 a prequel.
What?
Star Trek
No,
2009.
it's its own universe.
But
so
set
no.
before the event.
No,
Alright.
I'm saying no.
Is Casino Royale a prequel?
No, it's its own Bond. It's not prequel to any particular Bond.
Is Fast 5 a prequel?
No, that's dumb.
It takes place before the third movie.
Okay, but so no, come the fuck on, come the fuck on. Fast and Furious 1, Fast and Furious 2, Fast and Furious 3.
Listen,
Tokyo
this
Drift
is
down
the
here.
one that's
Then they do
straight up
Fast
on a
Five-
bunch
no,
of lists.
They just jump it. Nah, fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. No. Keep going. What else you got?
No, that was it. That was the end of the
Alright,
list.
I win. They're all no's, I think, is what I just said.
All right.
Dumb list.
Dylan, I'm going to ask a dumb question.
Mad Max.
This week, what do you want to watch?
Mad Max Saga. Of course.
Yep. I mean, that's the only answer. I think that's the only thing.
If you don't go see
Really?
Furiosa Mad Max Saga in cinemas this week and you claim to care about cinema, you don't. You're a fucking dirty face liar.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
Every movie I've gone to watch in the last couple of weeks, they're showing the trailer in cinema, and every time, fucking just get me amped. These last couple of weeks, anticipating the release, oof, it's been a slow couple of weeks, you know. Even slower when you got no computer, Ash, I tell you.
That's why here. We'll say I'm also intrigued to what they've got that Beach Boys documentary coming on Disney Plus. That could be an interesting watch. Yeah. So something else for you to watch if you've already watched Furiosa.
I could just
By
watch it
this
again,
time.
you know.
Just watch it again. Just buy tickets.
I saw the last one twice in the
Go
cinema
see it.
because I knew that it, like, you know, it was one of those movies, and I'm
Needed to.
like, I just needed to see it more than once in cinemas because it's a cinema movie. So
All right. Let us know what you want to watch this week. I mean, you can just tweet Furiosa at us at
Furiosa. There's that part in the
Twitter.
trailer where it was just the accent on it, you know, when she yells. I don't know how many times you've seen the trailer, but
Not
goes,
enough.
It just
clearly,
goes
to
at the
go-
start where she comes in and she's like, "My word," and you see this. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a friend or like someone else, but you see there's the accent of the Furiosa. Like, it sounds like fucking Hermione Granger. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, or you can jump into it. You can post Furiosa in our Discord by going to expressionetwork.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at What Do You Want to Watch, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars and equally leave 5 stars. Just tell people about the show. And if you enjoyed this episode, thought it was worth $1, head on over to our Ko page at explosion.com/support.
Why does she?
Thank
shave
you very
her
much
head?
for listening.
You know what I mean? Like,
That is the question that we're all waiting to be answered. You know,
just saying. That's the
You know,
only
maybe
reason.
she has.
The only reason.
Maybe somebody is trying to transfer her body into somebody else. You know,
True.
I don't know.
True.
Could be. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, keep watching stuff, I guess.
Furiosa.
Furiosa.
I'm saying, go watch the trailer. Second.